I'm going to take this opportunity, however, to suggest that we all hail heroic. That's all I'm saying.
Forgive me, Doctor. I'm receiving a number of distress calls. I don't doubt it.
Y'all remember to tip your waitresses. Have a mighty fine night.
You come in peace, surrender or be destroyed. Here to make war, we surrender. Important news are leading you
When the appointed hour arrives, the Marauders will deactivate their cloaking devices and begin transporting Klingon shock troops directly to the landing zone.
Landing zone? Where? Tell me.
Why not? Your feeble weapons will be useless against us. We will kill all your males and take your females to mate with.
All right. Now the Federation's taking over, whether you like it or not. You people, you've been running this planet like a piecework factory. From now on, it's gonna be under one roof. You're gonna run it like a business. That means you're gonna make a profit.
Look at these 3 words written larger than the rest, with a special pride never written before or since. Tall words proudly saying, "We the people."
Hi, I'm Nicole DeBoer. I played Lieutenant Ezri Dax on DS9, and I welcome you to Birdo Prey 5 channel. Hail Karoga.
Hello world, it's Birdo Prey 5, Qapla, and welcome to BedLife for Columbus Day, Monday, October 12th, 2020. Columbus Day, a day that all Americans can put down their differences and, pretend they're a little bit Italian, and we all thank Christopher Columbus for being the 6th person to land somewhere in the vicinity of the United States, but being the first person to actually say, "Hey, wouldn't it be nice if more people lived here?" All the others, the Vikings, they got here first. They didn't know what to do with the place. They were like, land. We already got too much land. And they forgot to tell anybody. The Chinese, there's a chance they were in China. They were in California. They didn't come back. Not till Columbus told all the Europeans, "Hey, you better get there first." They got a lot of gold. And so they did. And now the rest is history. So, and a happy Thanksgiving Day to those Americans north of the border in Canada who prefer to still call themselves Canadians. But you are North Americans, so except for that small sliver in the middle who want to call themselves French. But still, happy Thanksgiving, whichever part of Canada you might be in. And just for you today, we are not going to do Canada Au Pray. So don't worry about that. Jeff Franklin was not first in the chat, but he's the first comment that's showing up on my screen. There was quite a bit of chat going all day today in the preview window. Unfortunately, YouTube cuts it off about a couple hours ahead of time. We were talking about him putting quotes around the wrong evil in the word, in the sentence he wrote out. And then Captain Track puts in a whole bunch of emojis, calendar, crystal, skull for Chang, hashtag calendar. Okay, well, whatever. Indecipherable, but thank you, Captain Track. 47 Yorktown, Qapla, 47 Yorktown says happy Canadian Thanksgiving Day. I believe it's the first time in a while, maybe? Because usually Canadian Thanksgiving and Columbus Day do not fall on the same day. But How do you have Thanksgiving on a Monday? What the hell's up with that? I think you guys are a little confused. 47 Yorktown says, we meet again, Captain Track. And Captain Track says, indeed, we do. And 47 Yorktown says, Dear Bop. And he's using the bird of prey emoji. And you know what, 47 Yorktown, you have the best use of the Bop emoji so far for Dear Bop. And Captain Track is putting in a bullhorn to show how powerful I am. Bull, bird of prey, pound. Hashtag pound, bop, pound. What? Hashtag bull bop. Hashtag bull bop. What the hell is bull bop? You're calling me strong. I'm strong like bull. Yes. Yes, Captain Track. Thank you. Yes, I am strong like bull. Muscles like bull. Horns that not like bull, but they'd be there if you could see them. 47 Yorktown says, the best part of Canadian Thanksgiving Day is the house smelling of ketchup chips and roasted beaver. You've never had beaver till you had roasted Canadian beaver. Matt Ryan Johnson says, Bird of Prey, you should start your stream early so we can jump into watching Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull and have deep analysis and discussion of the movie. No, thank you. Captain's Track says, 47 Yorktown, if that's the best part, what is the worst? No idea what roasted beaver smells or tastes like. You don't want to know. I don't know, but I can tell it's not good. Aberdam says, Captain Track, I've tasted plenty of beavers, but never a roasted one. Har, har, har. Tiki of Doom says, Qapla, happy Columbus Day. Thank you, Qapla. Tiki of Doom, happy Columbus Day. Captain Track says, Aberjam, should I ask? I probably shouldn't, Captain. Eastland Burkholder Qapla says, beavers can give human a really bad parasitic infection. So always cook your beaver. And so eaters in one wild game meat I would be leery of. Beavers are one wild game meat to be leery of. Beavers, not eaters. Typo. Autocorrect is evil. I got it. And Eastland says, saw a show about Columbus / journey to the New World was interesting. Indeed. Not Ryan Johnson was going tick-tock, tick-tock, even though I had at least 4 minutes left. Rock Solid says, thank God, Lower Standards is finally over, but now we have Disco returning, man, we're screwed. Did you see the final episode of Lower Decks, Rock Solid? Did you still hate it? Even Captain Track gave it a 7, and Jeff Franklin gave it a 5. And those were some of the biggest Lower Decks critics I've ever seen. So I'm curious if you've seen it, Rock Solid, and if so, what did you give the final episode? 47 Yorktown says, Rock Solid, Disco is going to hurt more than an inch kidney stone, but I'm going to watch anyway. I have an update. I had a little bit of I have an update on kidney stone. Forza Jersey donated $2 through Super Chat. Happy Columbus Day. I'm eating Italian food. A great way to celebrate Columbus Day. Very cool, Forza. Thank you. But I do have a little update I got to give you guys on the kidney stones. Yes, there are still 4 stones, but the measurements were a little off, and I will explain why. They're still sizable, but they weren't quite as big as I thought they were. I have a very good reason. No, it wasn't that I was using inches instead of centimeters. 47 Yorktown, yes, says, yeah, Disco's going to hurt more than kidney stones. Rock says he's late. He's late. I wasn't late. No, I wasn't late. Sorry. Joseph Patrick says Columbus Day. None of you would exist without him. Absolutely. And I have, dare I say, none of the Europeans would exist without him either, because we kind of saved your ass a couple of times. Right? So it goes both sides of the pond. We should both be thanking him. Everybody on this planet alive right now, except perhaps Native Americans, should be thanking him. Joseph, yeah. Rock Solid says 47 Yorktown. I don't know. Lower Standards was a steaming pile of dog poop. But did you watch the final episode? Yes or no? And Jeff Franklin says Changeling Martok. He keeps showing up in this intro. And he's going to keep showing up in the intro, Jeff, until I change it. 47 Yorktown says, hello, young sir. Qapla, 47 Yorktown. Mike Richards says, greetings from Columbus, Ohio. Berto Prey and chat. Greetings and Qapla to Mike Richards. Positive Candor says, hello, everyone. Positive Candor, I was so happy you streamed today about Christopher Columbus. I was so sorry I missed your stream. I also missed Fortean Barber and Adega's stream. That was just the middle of the day. Mamo Prey mostly. And I had to fix this table that my computer is on had a problem. We had to take everything off of it. Mamo Prey had to turn it over. She had to put washers underneath so the wheels would stop hitting and stop locking. And now it's so easy to move this table. It's ridiculously easy how much this table moved. We got used to pushing really hard. Now it just moves because all the wheels work. For months we were working on only 3 wheels. And then last week we went down to 2 wheels. So now we got all 4 wheels back and working. And it's amazing, but it took a while. And so I was offline for an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours while we were doing all this. And I missed Positive Candor stream and I missed Fortean Barber's stream. I did listen to them both though since, and they were both good. And I hope to see you stream again, Positive Candor. Yitza says, hums the Vanelli Conquest of Paradise theme. What, like Milli Vanillis? I don't know. I don't know what that is. Oh, Vangelis. I still don't know what that is. Jeff Franklin says, smash that like button and ring the notification icon bell and hashtag be like Joseph. 54.5 Access Radio, hashtag be like Joseph. Uncle Remus says, nice beaver. Not to me, but someone. Jeff Franklin, hashtag annual crystal skull for bird in emojis. Rock Solid says, bird of prey. What the hell is Canada au prey? Shouldn't it be Canadian au prey or Canada? But Canada au prey would be a country, not a person. Well, there's Aussie au prey, so... Oh, I said it should be Canuck au prey. Okay, well, you know what? I'm still not doing it. Darth Calhoun, Qapla, Darth Calhoun. Haven't seen you in a long while. Says, Guten, I have a premiere in an hour. Guten Tag, I have a premiere in an hour. Guten Tag, Darth Calhoun. Well, I don't know if we'll be over in an hour, but I will watch it as soon as I can. And I will suggest everyone else watch it too. Very glad to see you around, Darth Calhoun. I watch all your videos, learning about what it was to go through basic training. All the more certain it wasn't for me. It never was. Jeff Franklin says hashtag annual crystal skull for bird. Aravic Saunders says Qapla, bird of prey. DS9 on Tuesday. Yes, this week, tomorrow is DS9 Tuesday for the second and a hopefully final time. So Anti-Tracker and Life with Matthew can stream on Wednesday and do the second half of their fundraiser and hopefully raise enough money to eat a very hot potato chip or something and maybe a gummy bear. They are, of course, raising money for Anti-Tracker's drinking habits. He needs more money for booze. So make sure you can give him a few bucks. Every dollar he promises, every dollar he raises is going to go straight to the liquor store. Oh, Nephew O'Pre's Halloween costume just came in. Here's what Sis O'Pre wanted. He's going to be the State Puff Marshmallow Man. Yeah, that's the Nephew O'Pre's Halloween costume. Very tired of stalling, Qapla. Says go Yankees. Oh, wait. Yeah, the Yankees lost. But you know what? I don't care anymore. I don't care. Joseph Patrick with a €2 super chat. Qapla, Joseph Patrick. He says this message is to be read with Slavic accent. Oh. How can I do a Slavic accent? I gotta do my Joseph accent. Oh, I'm Joseph Patrick. I'm Slavic. Yes, this message is to be read with Slavic accent. It sounds a little Russian, but it's as close to Slavic as I can get. Yes. I have my dog and my cats and my beautiful wife. So that was me, Joseph Patrick. Did that work out? But as for very tired of stalling, you can't get me. You can't get me. 5, 10, 15 years ago, you were going to rub that the Yankees lost into my face. I'd have cared. But these days, could not care less about baseball, about football, about basketball, about whatever that thing you play on the ice is, and any other sports. I could not care less. F them all. I hope they all go out of business. Captain Trax is bird of prey. That's a damned deer. What's a damn deer? What? A damn deer? What are we talking about? Oh, the emoji? It didn't look like... It's a bull. That was a bull. Oh, you're saying Dear Bop. Oh, Dear Bop. I'm telling you, it's a bull on my screen. It's got antlers. It's a bull. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Huh? Deers have antlers, but I'm saying the emoji I'm seeing. See, this is the problem. Emojis are not universal, so it's very possible he sees a deer head, but I am seeing a bull head. So it's strong like bull, not grass eating like deer. But now I know you want a Dear Bop. I understand. Well, we're gonna get to the Dear Bops. Don't worry about it. We will get to Dear Bops. I also want to read through some. I promised you guys I was gonna read through some of my videos that never got made, just so you have some idea of all the random things I was coming up with. And yes, I am. There is a video I want to work on, possibly today, that I think will be a fun video before we get to Discovery. So I guess I better get started. Captain Trek, yes, it's a damn deer. Saul Leibowitz, Qapla, Saul Leibowitz. Says Qapla, bird of prey. And then Captain Track says it's a deer. No, that's not a deer. It's a bull for me. It may be a reindeer. It could be Rudolph. You know what? In hindsight, looking at it a little closer, it's got a red nose. I think it's Rudolph. Dee Dee Myers says, Qapla, bird of prey. It's great to see you. How's the entire family? How's Sassy O'Prey how's Sassy O'Prey doing today? Sassy is doing well. The family is doing decently well. Thank you for asking. We just talked to Sis O'Prey and nephew O'Prey. Everybody's okay. Mom O'Prey had a busy day fixing the table I told you guys about, but we're okay. Thank you. Rock Solid says, I did see the last episode of Lower Standards. The last 5 minutes of Lower Standards made me chuckle for the first time, but it was still a steaming pile of dog poop. Wow, tough critic, Rock Solid, tough critic. And then Rock Solid says, bird of prey, there are 4 stones. Yes, there are. There are 4 stones. Do I have the stones here? No, I don't. Oh, yes, I do. Yes, I do. I put them over here. Okay, so it's probably hard to see them, but they are in this bag. You can see 3 of them. You can see 3 of them there at the bottom. and then the fourth one is well, we'll go. I'll show you when we talk about the measurements. I'll get back to them. There are 4 stones. There are. Mike Richards is bird of prey. Both my mother's parents came here from Italy. I'm a 3rd-generation immigrant over here. On my dad's side, my grandparents were born here. Their parents came. And on my mom's side, at least as far back. Some of them were here a lot longer. Yeah. Yeah, grandparents were born here. So I guess I'm fairly American, as Americans go, at least in the Northeast. I mean, obviously there's some people trace their lineage back to the Mayflower. It's not like that, but let's put it this way. Far enough back that I won't blame myself for anything that's happened, but not as far back that it was before the Civil War. So I don't feel like I should be blamed either. Yeah, Darth Calhoun says, my family would survive. We would just be in Bavaria. Interesting. Mr. CCDV says, hey, Bird of Prey, happy Columbus Day. Thank you, Mr. CCDV. Happy Columbus Day to you. Jeff Franklin says, allergies are horrible today. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Jeff. And he says, Joseph Pedrick, how are you in the future? Positive Candor says, rip to the Cincinnati Reds. 2B, Joe Morgan, who died today. He was 77 years old. Qapla. And welcome, well, not welcome, but good luck on your journey to Tovacor, Joe Morgan. Sorry to hear that. I honestly don't know who he was because I'm not really a sports fan, but sorry. Obviously, he meant something to you, Positive Candor. Joseph Patrick says, Jeff Franklin, tired tomorrow, poop load of work, but otherwise good. Mountains of Elysium says, greetings, Birdo Prey, Mamo Prey, Sisso Prey, Chico Prey, and fellow nerds. Greetings, Mountains of Elysium. And Jeff Franklin is yelling, no Ozzy Prey. No, we're not doing. I can't promise you I won't do them later, but we're not doing Ozzy Prey now. Mountains of Elysium says, in greetings to Sassy, chaser of cats, eater of cookies, stalker of cardinals, defiler of cushions, and scourge of the squirrels. Aroo! Yes, and Mountains of Elysium. Yes, well, thank you. I was going to say you should use the sassy emoji, but I forgot you can't. You can't use the sassy emoji. Otherwise, you could. Darth Calhoun says this new video on the next phase is on the next phase of basic training. Awesome. I can't wait to hear about it, Darth Calhoun. Saul Leibowitz says, Bird of Prey, how many more shopping days until your birthday? I have no idea. We've got a month and a day. November 13th. I don't know how many shopping days. I mean, technically every day is a shopping day now that now people have Amazon. Mr. CCTV says, Darth Calhoun, dude, you are taking me back 25 years with those vids, minus the mask and open ranks formation stuff. Mountain of Elysium says, for Anti-Trigger and Life with Matthew next Wednesday. Suffer. It's this Wednesday. It's this Wednesday they're suffering. Next Wednesday, we should be back to Deep Space Nine Wednesdays, which, by the way, not this week, not tomorrow, but next Wednesday is the very special episode, Rejoined. You know what Rejoined is. I'm sure you do. And if you don't remember what Rejoined is, this will remind you. Yeah, this is from Rejoined. So, yeah, a very special episode for next week. Tomorrow's a very powerful episode. For me, at least. I always thought it was a really powerful episode, and I can't wait till we actually get to watching it. But Yeah. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. Anyway, as I was saying, tomorrow is Hippocratic Oath, which is a pretty powerful episode. O'Brien and Bashir have a kind of a falling out, a disagreement. Bashir's got to pull rank when they're on a distant planet trying to save the Jem'Hadar of all people. And on the station, Worf and Odo trying to get into a tizzy on station security. So a very good episode coming up tomorrow. A very, very good episode coming up the following week. And let's face it, we're in season 4, arguably the best season of the series, although they're all arguably the best season of the series from here on out. So they're all going to be good episodes from this point on. Yes. Mike Richards says Positive Candor has been a Reds fan for 50 years. Wow. How have you been a Reds fan? You're 50 years old, Mike Richards, or older? I didn't picture you that old. Darth Calhoun says Mr. CCDV says, yeah, it was odd basic for sure. Yeah, he had to deal with the virus. The Intendant says for Marshmallow. Lol Marshmallow. Who's Marshmallow? Positive Candor says, sorry, what? Oh, Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Oh, Marshmallow. Now I get it. Thank you, Mamo Pray. Positive Candor says, sorry to you then, Mike Richards. I am sure the big red machine's greatness saddens you with Joe Morgan's passing anyway. And Mountains of Elysium says, Joseph, isn't it funny how Slavic Opre sounds a lot like Aussie Opre and Irish Opre? I disagree. There's distinct differences between Slavic Opre and Aussie Opre. Uncle Remus says, how about golf or bowling? No, I didn't like golf or bowling even before I got sick. I certainly don't like them now. Thomas Bott says, no sports, go to hell. Wow, Thomas. Wow, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you feel so jaded because there's no real sport. I guess there are sports to watch again, but there won't be for long. All sports are going to go the way of baseball, only they're going to get there a lot quicker than they did in Deep Space Nine. Joseph says, it means I have to do flawless English. It means I have to do a flawless English accent. Oh, Joseph is saying it means he does have a flawless English accent. You really do, Joseph. Dwarf tossing. Okay, you know what, Grimace? If they televise dwarf tossing, I might watch. I'm not saying I'm going to watch it live, but maybe I'll DVR it. Maybe. I mean, I do sometimes DVR. What's that? When the robots fight, Robo, whatever that's called, Robo Wars or whatever. I mean, that's kind of sporty, but that's as close as I get. I mean, well, listen. I mean, women's volleyball isn't really a sport, but yeah, that's okay. We can continue with women's volleyball. Captain Track says, go DE will come up dear. Go DE will come up dear. Well, I'm telling you, at best, it's a reindeer. It kind of looks like a bull. At best, it's a reindeer. Mountains of Elysium says, greetings to his friend Captain Track. And Mr. CCDV says, that is Rudolph. So you see, Mr. CCDV sees Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer as well. Captain Track says, greetings to Mountains of Elysium. And it's very possible that it looks for like Rudolph to me and Mr. CCDV, and it looks like a cow to somebody else, and it looks like a deer to Captain Trek. What? A bull. Yeah, a bull, a cow, whatever. Same. Pretty close to the same thing. LDG says, afternoon, everyone. Qapla LDG. Captain Track says, Mr. CCDV, if you do to eat, brings up a deer. CCDV says, Gak, that's one painful day of 4. Well, it didn't all happen in one day. It happened over 4 days or so. Darth Calhoun's premiere is in 30 minutes, but it will be there. I will watch it after I finish the stream. Maldas Elysium says, you could make a tiara with those nuggets of Kuroganite. You know, maybe I will. Maybe I will. I could certainly make a pair of earrings. There's 2 that are very similar. Mr. CCDV says, yep, that worked. And he's, Mr. CCDV is 4th generation Viking American. My family doesn't go back that far. 4th generation Viking American. I guess that's me, but not Viking. Although I do have a little DNA, they said, from Iceland or Norway. Iceland and or Norway. Jeff Franklin puts in hashtag calendar, diamond, skull, the number 4, and a bird. Thomas is rejoined was a dumb episode. Thomas, the rest of Rejoined might not have been the best episode, but there's that one scene that carries the whole episode. Rock Solid says, Bird of Prey, not a tough approach to lower standards. It was fundamentally not a good show. It wasn't entertaining. It wasn't great. It sucked. Like worse than my content. Rock Solid, your content doesn't suck. Cinnabon Bunny says, hello, Qapla, Cinnabon Bunny, good to see you. The intendant is looking around. Thomas Potts says hello to Cinnabon. Cinnabon says hey to Thomas. Mr. CCDV says, you know that today is Monday, right? Yes, today is Monday. Did I say Monday? I meant Tuesday. Tomorrow. Tomorrow is Deep Space Nine Tuesday. Jeff Franklin says, Bird of Prey, I bet you like curling. Not really. I don't like to watch it. I like the idea of curling, that somehow that managed to become an official sport. I think that's funny, but to actually watch it, no. Mike Richards is 63. I'm 11 years older than Anti-Tracker and only 6 years younger than Dad O'Prey. Wow, Mike Richards. Hope all remains well with you. Robert Rose says, hello today, Bird O'Prey, Mom O'Prey, and Sassy. They should lift the ban and let Pete Rose in the Baseball Hall of Fame. Babe Ruth was far from being a saint, and they let him and many others in. Yeah, the more I've thought about it, I don't know, the more I think they should probably let Pete Rose in. Cut cheating, yeah. Yeah, gambling. But I don't think there was ever any evidence he always get bet on himself. He never bet against himself. It was still gambling, but so. Ungreen says, how about competitive eating contests? I was in one competitive eating contest, which I won. A cookie. I probably could have won, like, before they got crazy. Like, you had these little Japanese people that would suck down 50 hot dogs. I probably could have won some good eating contests back in the day. Today, I couldn't. I did one, like, little contest we had at a fair or something. I ate a cookie the quickest. But I never tried to go professional because I'd probably have died. But no, I mean, I'll watch the Nathan's contest for fun for like 2 minutes, but that's about it. I really couldn't care. Robot Wars, says Rock Solid. It just doesn't seem right, Robot Wars. It seems like there's some other name. And Rock Solid wants Dear Bop. Yes, we'll get to Dear Bop. The Fed Doc, Qapla the Fed Doc, yawns and sips coffee in proper Slav fashion. Morning bird. Good morning, the Fed Doc. How are things down there on your side of the planet? The Fed Docs puts on earplugs just in case. No, don't worry. No Aussie. Oh, pray. Alexa, play notification. Yeah, that was Nephew Opray's Halloween costume. Forza Jersey says Lower Decks wasn't bad. I think it may have been the first new track that they tried to give something fans enjoy. Well, I thought it was decent. It started rough, but it ended well. And Ensign Ricky donated $2 through Super Chat. Qapla says Real Steel is the name of the show, I'm pretty sure. No, Real Steel, I'm pretty sure, is the name of a movie that featured a guy in a robot suit that would fight. I don't think it's called Real Steel. At least what I watched wasn't called Real Steel. That much I know. I did like the movie Real Steel, and I was surprised that I did like it because I thought it looked like a corny movie, but it actually turned out to be a really decent movie. In fact, I don't know if it's 10 years old yet or not. If it was, it would be a great movie to do on a sad day, but I'm thinking it's probably like 8 years old or something. I just don't think it was that long ago. Alexa, what year did Real Steel come out? October 7th, 2011. So we got a year to go, and we can do it. Okay, cool. Thank you, Ensign Ricky, for the thought anyway. Captain Track, yes. Dear Annual Kiss Crystal Skull for Bird. Forza, yeah, we read that. Eastland Burkholder, Qapla just arrived. Qapla, Eastland. Rock Solids is Bird of Prey. I wasn't saying that my content sucked. I was trying to say that Lower Deck standards sucks more than my content. But thanks for saying my content sucked, Dick. No, I said your content doesn't suck. Rock Solid is lolling. Cinnabon Bunny says hello to Captain Track. Uncle and Mrs. Bird of Prey. Can you eat 73 hot dogs in 10 minutes? No, I cannot. Back in the day, I could have eaten 60 McNuggets in 10 minutes. I'm 100% sure of that. But no, I cannot eat 73 hot dogs. I would have thrown up. And Ensign Ricky puts in Real Steel, and then he paid to put in Real Steel. Oh, thank you, Ensign Ricky. Jeff Franklin says, Bird of Prey, how about a kissing contest as a sport? Depends on who's doing the kissing. The Fed Doc says, Bird of Prey, all's looking good so far, but it's Tuesday. Good to hear. Fed Doc says, Bird of Prey, I'll change it by saying that Lower Decks is proper track for the first time in 15 years. Wow. Now, I don't know if I'd call it proper track, but I would say it's good. It's good track. At least it ended good. I would go that far. Jeff Franklin says, Joseph, sorry, work is going to be hectic. Ensign Ricky says the only other one I think it could be was BattleBots. That's it. BattleBots. Thank you, Ensign Ricky. That's definitely the name. Rock Solid says Bird of Prey had Hugh Jackman in it. Real Steel. Yeah. I don't remember who was in it, but that's definitely the movie. Eastland says Real Steel is a movie with Hugh Jackman. Corny, but with acting makes it fun to watch. Joseph says 60 McNuggets in 10 minutes. That's my food for 3 days. Well, I'm not saying I would do it on a regular basis, and I never actually did it, but I'm sure I could have. We almost got to the 60 McNugget challenge. My friends were ready to bet me that I couldn't do it, but man, I used to be able to eat McNuggets so fast. I probably would have had 60 and then still had a burger, just to show them up. Forza says, Bird, would you like to see a Titan series with Riker? I mean, listen, if it's good track, if it has good stories, I don't care. Yeah, I'd see a Titan series with Riker. Hell, if it's good track, I'd see a whatever ship with Beverly Crusher as the captain. If it's good track, just because there's one good character in it that doesn't mean it's going to be a good show. We found that with Picard. Just because there's a good character in it, it doesn't mean it's going to be a good show. And we might as well talk about the rumor that was spreading around, because one crappy internet media site or news site said that, their sources said that they are trying to get Avery Brooks to come back either for an episode or two of Star Trek Picard or a show of his own. But Avery Brooks couldn't give a shit less about Star Trek right now. He didn't do anything for the documentary. He could have. They wanted him to. He said nope. They didn't want to be part of the documentary, the DS9 documentary. He doesn't go to conventions anymore. He didn't go to conventions for quite a while before the virus. There's no compelling reason that he's going to come out and say, hey, let's get back into Star Trek. Yeah, I'll do my own show under Alex Kurtzman. No, he would never. I dare say it. The man would never do a show under Alex Kurtzman. Now, if they fired Alex Kurtzman and offered the job to Avery Brooks to be the executive producer of all Trek for the next 5 years, maybe. But there is no way that man is coming back to work under Alex Kurtzman. I don't care. They don't have enough money. He just doesn't give a shit about money. That's what they tried to tell us during the documentary. The man, not that he's crazy, but he's not all there. He's not going to do things for money. He doesn't need the money. He's not coming back. As much as I say I'd love to see him come back, I probably wouldn't, right? Until we had people that I knew we could trust the show with, good, competent writers. I really don't want to see him come back. I really don't want to see the characters I love come back, because there's like a 9 out of 10 chance they're going to be screwed up. They're going to be effed up. They're going to ruin them like they ruined Picard. It makes it harder to watch The Next Generation because of what happens in Picard. But would he come back with great writing? Of course. I would love to see him back with great writing. I would love to see Nicole DeBoer come back with great writing. I don't care if Julian Bashir or any of them come back. In fact, if we get good writing, just put all new people. I don't care. I just want good writing. The actors. Oh, right, Orville Nation with the classic rejoined Kissing Dax. Very cool. Thank you so much, buddy. $4 super chat, super sticker. Looks like a cup of coffee or a cup of tomato soup, whatever it is. Thank you so much. And yes, you got some Kissing Dax. That was like a 1 in 30 chance. Well to go. Good going. I am impressed. And yeah, I just, Cisco's not coming back, and I think we should all be happy he's not. If he did, then he better be in charge. I don't think if let's put it this way, if Rick Berman or Stephen Ira Bear replace Kurtzman, fine. Then we bring, although even though, to be honest, even Stephen Ira Bear, after seeing what he talked about in the documentary, I don't know if I'd even want him in charge. I mean, don't get me wrong, he would be better than Kurtzman, but I don't know that I'd want him in charge. Yeah, I think the ship may have just sailed on those characters. I would have wished 10 years ago, under the right director or the right executive producer, they had done this stuff, but I think it's too late. It's too late. Mr. CCDV says Robot Wars on Sci-Fi Channel back in '94. Rip Grant Amahara. He says, "Oh, BattleBots. Oops, yes." And rip to Grant. He was way before his time. Rox Odds is Bird of Prey. It didn't end good. It was good that it ended. Wow. Way to change the meaning. Jeff Franklin says 3 days, Joseph, they feed you horrible in the future. Yeah, horribly in the future. Hungry Ema says, what meat byproducts go into a chicken McNugget? Just chicken. If you believe McDonald's, just chicken and salt and a few preservatives. Captain Track says, calling lower standards proper track. Please share whatever you're taking. He needs the pain relief. Eastland Burkholder says, good characters and good writing is what's needed. Agreed. Star Trek Nitpickers says, just because it has battle bots doesn't mean it's gonna be a good show. That's true. The Fed Doc says, character chemistry is also important. I find in stories. Absolutely, Fed Doc. Which is what I would, I say you need good writers to have good character chemistry. Jeff Franklin says, Joseph, I can't imagine having 20 McNuggets per 3 days. Yuck. Uncle Remus says, why wasn't Riker in the Titan in the last episode of Picard? Titan destroyed by Lower Decks character. That's a very good question. Well, Picard takes place 20 years after what happened on that Titan, or 18 to 20 years after the events of Lower Decks. So, it makes sense that and Riker retired. So it makes sense he wasn't on the Titan at that point. The Titan may or may not exist. Presumably the ship he was on was at least as powerful as the Titan. Eastland Burkholder says, Avery Brooks, I do not think he'd do it. He is in an interview where he discusses jazz music and acting and how they relate in his mind. Acting is partly about timing and rhythm, he said. Interesting. Yeah, the last time we see Avery Brooks is in the Captain's documentary. And he's quite the character. Star Trek Nitpicker says, I agree, Bird. We need better writers before they bring anyone else back. Absolutely. Joseph says, I would strip naked on Discovery for the right amount of money. You think Brooks wouldn't return for Stewart levels of money? No, I honestly don't think he would, Joseph, because the man lives in a big house with pianos and all the time, everything he wants. He doesn't need any more money. Forza Jersey says, Titan as a cartoon is doable because Frakes is too old to play a post-Nemesis Riker. If things weren't differently, Frakes should have a Titan series in the mid to late 00s. Well, that wouldn't work because Picard took place in 2399, and so he was already off the Titan, and the Titan presumably may not even exist. Certainly, it would seem Starfleet has changed all of their starships by 2399 to unrecognizable ships. Forza Jersey says, I just read that. Eastland says, and it rang true for me because he speaks with interesting cadence. Avery Brooks. Absolutely. The intendant says it's a shame Avery Brooks pretty much retired. The Fed Doc says, Bird of Prey, I find a good way to still watch TNG to just see Picard for what it is, an alternate depiction as all myriad of universes, good for book series, and a great one where Khan won the eugenics wars. If Khan won the eugenics wars, everybody would be healthy. Eastland Burkholder says, no, Joseph, Avery would not in my opinion. I agree. Ensign Ricky says, I think Brooks did some of the musical competition on the documentary. Well, he didn't appear that much. Nitpicker says, even Steven. Yeah, no. Roxod says, Bird of Prey, you see what happened when Rick Moranis came out of retirement. We don't need Avery Brooks getting jacked. Avery Brooks wouldn't get jacked. Avery Brooks would be doing the jacking. Okay, nobody's gonna sucker punch Hawk. Okay, they're gonna get their lights. You see, he punched out Q. Okay, you should be scared if Avery Brooks is coming down to you, and it's nothing to do with the color of his skin. But if Avery Brooks is walking down the sidewalk and you catch eyes with him, you're the one that's going to move to the other side of the street, not him. Even though he's 70-something years old, you're like, nope, I don't want a piece of that. That guy's part wormhole alien. No, thank you. No, God, no. We do not want a Dr. Pulowski series. Oh my God. She died, right? Didn't she die? I think she died. I think she did. I don't know. No, I guess she didn't die, but Jesus Christ. No, we can't do that. Cinnabon says next show will be Pulowski. Robert Rose Jr. says, I would rather see Avery Brooks reprise his role of Hawk from Spencer for Hire in some form. A Hawk series or a movie could work. Yeah, or American History X2. I could see that. Forza Jersey says, Avery Brooks did some captain's thing with Shatner. I want to say 10 years ago. Shatner interviewed him. Brooks is an interesting human. Yeah, that's the one. That's what I was talking about. Easlyn Burkholder says, Brazil the movie shows how food is not as good. Brazil the movie shows how food is not as good. Easlyn, I don't know what we're talking about. Clobbering Times, Qapla says, agreed. Bear would probably go extreme woke. He would. If things he said in doc were any indication, he's capable of making a better show if he could avoid that, but I'd be skeptical. Yeah, Bear has drank the Kool-Aid. He's on the wokest path. If he was writing DS9 today, it would be a woke show. So I don't even want him. I don't even want him there. He's better than Kurtzman, but I don't think he could do it. Oh, Orville Nation says it was a cup of Joe. Thank you, Orville Nation. I don't really drink coffee. I wouldn't have gotten that. Thank you so much for the cup of Joe donation to the channel. Eastland says Star Trek nitpickers. I agree. And Rock Solid says, Dear Bop, Dear Bop, Dear Bop. We will get there. Joseph says, Bird of Prey, did you watch the 30-second video I sent you? Yes, I did. Of course I did. It fixes Star Trek Picard, the final scene. Instead of all the copy and pasted starships, you got the Intrepid, you got the Enterprise E, you got Voyager, you got the Defiant, and those class ships, a whole bunch of those class ships. And I think even some, some of the, I don't know if there was a Miranda, but there was, whatever. There were quite a few different ships, and it made it look much, much better. It was still Picard, though. Okay, that episode still had literally a magic tool where you just thought about what you wanted it to do, and it did it, whether it was fix a broken engine or project your face all over a ship. Okay, including warp signatures. So, I mean, it's still a ridiculous show, Picard. There's no fixing Star Trek Picard. It is fundamentally flawed. There is no fixing Star Trek Discovery. Fundamentally flawed. Lower Decks, I think it could be fixed. It would be hard, but it could be. Dr. Pulowski, medicine woman, says Yetza. Wow. Marcus Gallagher Qapla says, howdy guys. What are we talking about? We're talking about Star Trek, like we always do. Forza Jersey says he means after 2005, when Enterprise ended, mid to late 2005 to say 2010. Yes, if they had put a Riker series then, that would have been awesome. That would have been awesome. Mac Marcus is Diana Charlton Mulderis. That's Pulowski, 82, and still alive. Oh God, I hope they don't. Mount Elysium prefers Pulowski to Crusher. I don't know why you would. And Eastland Burkholder says food in future. I meant. Robert Rose is Soylent Green. Yummy. Wow. Captain Trax is Clobber in Times Hello. Star Trek Nitpickers says Diana Moldor. Dr. Pulowski is still alive and 82 years old. She was also in TOS. Yes, I remember her in TOS as well as TNG. Marcus Gallagher says Dr. Pulowski used to be very attractive. Yes. Clobber in Times says, hey to Captain Track. The Fed Doc says, Bird of Prey, aside from McMahon, who seems to be the only showrunner in Hollywood for which both a sense of humor and a sense of track, don't think there's a person alive in this era who can do Trek. Well, certainly not in Hollywood. Yeah, and Fed Doc says in Hollywood, that is. Eastland Virgo says, we had strong females in miniskirts long ago. Now we do not have really strong females in film and shows. Often a strong female is not a scats pulling others down, does not repeatedly tell you strong. Yeah, if you have a strong female, you want to see that she's strong. You don't want to be told she's strong. Telling somebody, oh, she's so perfect, she's so strong, she's so stunning, she's so brave, that does not make them that. That just makes another character look weak. Okay, show me how strong she is. Show me how brave she is. Show me how smart she is. Don't tell me. And that goes for characters of both genders, by the way. That's just good for all characters. However, for some reason, in Hollywood, in 2020, they can show us men who are strong. They can show us men who are good on rare occasion. They can show us men who are evil all the freaking time. But they can't show us a good, strong woman. They have to tell us it's a good, strong woman. Well, show it. Show it. It would make the show better. We'd like it better. I'm sure she would like it better. Why is this so hard for them? Nitpicker says, I don't think much about Picard and Disco. I agree. Lower Decks could easily be better. Thomas says, nothing is wrong with Lower Decks. I would disagree. Anton Ricky says, Dr. Katz, Medicine Woman, more like. Uncle Remus says, Robert Meyer Burnett should take over Star Trek. He would be better than Kurtzman. But I don't know. Jeff Franklin says, there is no fixing Lower Decks. Well, I disagree. The Fed Doc says, Bird of Prey, this woke nonsense needs to die first before we can return to some degree of true consistent quality in our favorite show, if you ask this Aussie. Well, I did, and I thank you for writing that, Fed Doc. And guys, Darth Calhoun's premiere, I believe, is coming up in a few minutes, but I will watch it after this stream, but if you want to go and watch it, I certainly will not blame you. I'll be here probably when it's over. I don't know how long it is, but I'll probably still be here. Jason Saint says, hey, nerds and turds, Qapla, Jason Saint. Good to see you. Eastland says, a Star Trek character in a really Star Trek world would be an occupation and would have a reason to be in the scene and a reason for what he or she did. We need to bring back fun and adventure. Well, maybe that's coming in Star Trek Prodigy. I don't know. I don't think it is. Marcus Galagus says, why doesn't CBS just hire a room full of nerds to vet their Star Trek shows? Because they don't want nerds. Nerds would say, no, this is bad. They don't want that. They want, basically a room full of people who are going to congratulate them and give them participation trophies and say, oh, how wonderful it is you wrote this crap, and here's an Emmy, or here's an award for being so stunning and brave, even though you wrote third grade level tripe. That's what they want. Hell, the one writer they had on Discovery, they went to HR and kicked him out. They kicked him out. The one qualified writer on Star Trek Discovery got kicked out for being, too good of a writer? I know what they say he got kicked out for, but that's nonsense. That's nonsense. It's like saying he got kicked out for breathing. Oh my God, I was so offended. He breathed on me, which I guess in 2020 pandemic might actually be a crime. But in 2019, when it happened, for FFS, man, FFS. They just got rid of him because he was too good. He was probably making the other writers look bad. The Fed Doc says, Bird of Prey, that's the problem, I think. These people forget the female in strong female. They kind of forget the femininity of the character and instead give a pathetic example of strength. Yes, 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 Fed Doc. And one of the perfect examples of a strong feminine character in Trek was from the Enterprise incident in Star Trek, the original series. Okay, the Romulan commander was a very feminine, very strong Romulan commander. Okay, she had the total respect of her crew. She had the respect of me, even though she was the enemy. She was a perfect woman, strong character. Now, she happened to be kind of the villain, although at the end of the episode, like with other Romulan episodes, the Romulans really are treated almost as equals. They're just kind of, they were kind of the Russians or whatever. They have different ways, but we still looked at them as humans. Okay, the Klingons, we didn't look on as humans in the original series. The Klingons, I know the Klingons were supposed to be the Russians, but they were not at the end of the day considered human. The Romulans basically were. And at the end of Battle of Terror, the first Romulan episode ever, it ends with the Romulan commander of that ship telling Kirk, in a different reality, I could call you friend. And Kirk had 100% respect for the Romulan commander, and the Romulan commander had 100% respect for Kirk. They were equals. And in the Enterprise incident, it was basically the same thing, except instead of a male commander on the Romulan ship, it was a woman commander of the Romulan ship. Actually, there were 3 ships. She was commander of the entire fleet of ships. She wasn't just the captain. She was the captain. She was in command of 3 vessels at least. And perfectly feminine, perfectly strong, perfectly respectable. That is how you do it. It's now they can't do that anymore. They can't do it. You were able to do that in 1969. They were able to write that character. Now in 2020, 2019, those people no longer exist. Those writers have either retired, left writing, or what? Died, I guess. I guess a lot of them just died. And the people who replaced them, pathetic. Pathetic. Thomas Potts says, "Dear sir, you are a nitwit." Thank you, Thomas. May I have another? Forza Jersey says, "How about we have 2 tracks, a woke track for the woke crowd and a good track for the Trek fans? Both can be happy. Lowers Decks sort of started this trend with McMahon track." Well, I agree. I would be all for 2 tracks, a tale of 2 tracks, one series for people who want to be woke and one for the people who want it to be good. Eastland says, "In real Star Trek world, we would be expecting a setup where things are not as they seem. If I was told that the characters is the bestest at this and everything, we would be looking for a twist." Yes. Darth Cahoon says, "Half an hour video." Okay, very cool. Then he'll probably still be here. Eastland says, "Have fun. Everyone enjoy the day. Might have to run away soon." Take care, Eastland, if you got to go. Star Trek Nitpicker says, "They said they did hire nerds. They probably were just dumb nerds who didn't care." Probably just people who said, "Yeah, I'm a nerd." Like, "Oh, do you like Star Trek?" And they're like, yeah, I love Yoda." And they're like, "Oh, cool. Do you want a seat on the Millennium Falcon?" Yeah. And they hired him. Let me remember, Alex Kurtzman, in his own words, not a Star Trek guy. He's more of a Star Wars guy. It's okay. It's all space. It's all space. It's all spaceships and blasters. How different could it be? Can't believe till we see Yoda. We're gonna see Yoda someday in Star Trek, in Kurtzman Trek, or Chewbacca. Eastland says, had fun. Oh, right, have to run. Okay, Eastland. Eastland says, it seems they were very fast and furious in space. And then, and to do it with little effort expended. And one competent writer makes them look bad. Yep. Joseph Patrick says, are you looking forward to the new characters on Disco? No, Joseph, I'm not looking forward to new characters. Why would I be looking forward to the new characters? The old characters suck. The new characters are going to suck worse. I'm sorry. The dude, okay? The dude, maybe he's got half a shot of being okay. I'm sorry, but I didn't know if I was going to like the other characters, the other two new characters. I really had no, I didn't know if I was going to like them or not until I saw the Discovery panel in the New York Comic Con, and then I knew immediately I was not going to like the new characters. I can tell you already, I'm not going to like the new characters. I will give it a chance. I'll give it the first episode. I'll see. I will double check just in case I was wrong. I'd been wrong before. I did not think I was going to like Ethan Peck as Spock, but in fact, Ethan Peck was the least repulsive thing of Star Trek Discovery Season 2. I doubt I'm going to like these two new people, but I will give it a chance before making a final determination. But I would bet big money that no, the new characters are going to suck. Because if they're anything like the actors who play them, they're going to suck. Like, oh, could you believe? Right? One of them has never acted before. It is their first time acting, their first time in front of a camera. Why the F are you hiring somebody who has never been in front of a camera before? They had zero qualifications. The only thing they had going for them was that they were of a particular gender transfer type that they wanted to cast. They wanted to cast somebody who was either, I forget if it was the transgender character or the non-binary character, but whichever one it was, that was the one who had zero acting ability. Their very first time in front of a camera was to play this part. They had nothing going to them, nothing for their name. I don't know why they even applied for the position, let alone why were they hired. Only because they wanted to have somebody who was, I think it was a non-binary person. They wanted a non-binary character, so they thought they had to hire a non-binary actor, and I guess that was the only one in the database. No experience. They get the job. And I'm telling you, I'm going to say it. It didn't look good that the non-binary character and the transgender character, actors, just happen to have matching nose rings. Not in the show, in the studio, in the panel, when they came on the panel, when they were talking on this New York Comic Con panel, they both had those freaking bull nose rings through their nose. Okay? Why did they both have to have them? I don't know. I think, I have no idea, but they both had those freaking things through their nose. And like, yeah, no, thank you. Okay? It's Jeff Franklin says, Bird of Prey, the ending of every episode of Prodigy will be Janeway. If I'd only been a little faster, I would have caught those kids and that puppy dog too. Actually, Jeff, there seems like they're changing. They might be backtracking on the premise of the show. Dan23 tweeted me today, and at least one place they've changed the story. It used to be that these were going to be a group of like misfit teenagers who came across an abandoned Starfleet vessel and use it to find redemption. So now one of the newer press releases says that they're not a band of misfits, just young officers, and they're being guided by a very experienced officer, aka Captain Janeway, Kate Mulgrew. So that would totally change the dynamics of the show. I don't think they know yet which it's going to be. I think when they decided that they were going to get Janeway on, they may have had to change the premise of the show. So I think there's a good chance that we're not going to see a bunch of losers get a starship, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Jitsi says, saying, nope. Not going to say that. Uncle Remus says, one of the writers for Star Trek Discovery was a contestant on Survivor. Anyone can be a writer for STD. Eastland is not going to watch Discovery. Jason Saint says, are we talking about Green Orion females? I like them. They are very strong. This is true, but no, that wasn't what we were talking about. I was talking about the Romulan. Eastland says, feminine leader and sexy and smart are not pulling others down. Not a petty dictator. Not a petty dictator. Agree. The Fed Doc says, bird of prey, balance of terror, bird. Yes, balance of terror. What'd I say? Clobbering Time says, balance of terror is a classic. Balance of terror, it was Kirk versus a guy. And the Enterprise incident was Kirk versus a woman, but both were Romulan. Joseph Patrick says, you do not need to go far for strong female character. Jadzia is perfect. Eastlands, Ensign Ricky says she also gets captured. Yeah, she gets captured, but the other guy dies. Okay, the male commander ends up dying. The female one ends up getting captured. But that's because humans had to win. That's just the way it is. Rock Solid is saying, Dear Bob. Yeah, I know. We'll get to it. I'm sorry. Jason Saint said, Samantha Carter from SG-1 is a good option for a strong character. Yes, she is. Yes, she is. Uncle Remus says, 2 Survivor contestants, John Cochran and David Wright, are apparently writers in STD. Oh, my God. SG-1, another great example of a TV show that had strong women. Clobber in Time says, Bird of Prey agreed. The Romulan commander was sexy and strong because she was well-written, well-cast character. Absolutely. The Fed Doc says, Bird of Prey, to reinforce my statement, it does seem like these people are trying to make strong females that are something that could match a man, but they don't seem to know what it is to be a man. That's a good way of putting it. Eastland says, in the Star Trek universe, it is the elite, the best, who are trusted with expensive equipment and important tasks, and rarely are the average skilled or less average skilled allowed to work there. Well, certainly not on the Enterprise. Eastland says, I like science style needs. Eastland says, Star Wars is fantasy, not sci-fi. Star Wars is maybe fantasy sci-fi. Jitsi says, didn't Stewart recently offer a crossover with Star Trek and Star Wars? No. He might have said something along those lines, but it was just because of his Uber Eats commercial that he did with Luke Skywalker, Mark Hamill. It has no real basis in reality. Daniel's Hot Topics. Qapla Daniel says, Bird of Prey. So the USS Titan design from Lower Decks is canon. That is cool. It's a nice design. If the Titan is canon, that means Lower Decks is canon as well. It doesn't mean that. I mean, it could if you want it to be, but it doesn't mean it. Eastland says, Joseph, no Star Trek for me. They forgot or never knew how to write for that show. The Fed Doc says, Bird of Prey. It does seem like for these people, Trek is something to be ashamed of, and Star Wars is the pinnacle of something to be shamelessly plagiarized. You can't do anything in such a place. Jason Saint says, time for a bird rant. Go. Eastland says, and there are the best and brightest trying to get onto the cast. No, they're not. Joseph says, will we get non-binary binars? Maybe. Jason says, non-binary binar star system. Soon. No, the aliens from TNG that tried to steal the Enterprise. Jason says, must be quantum tech. Eastland says, interesting genders. Interesting genders goes back to written books from the 50s, 7 genders and races, with no young females because the female is a late stage phase, and other ideas. That's cool. Yitza says, so the premise of Prodigy is the same as Picard, basically. Qapla, John Araki. The Fed docs is Bird of Prey. Well, to be fair, people said Lower Decks would be a bunch of losers in space, and look what we got. A bunch of losers in space. Cinnabon Bunny says it will be Janeway leading young officers through a situation recalling similar situation she was in when she was a kid and stole a ship with friends. Daniel says, Bird of Prey, I would have liked to seen a bunch of losers and outlaws getting a starship, but I guess the fan base strikes again, and they bitched and complained until they had to change it. I don't think that had anything to do with it, Daniel. It was because they got Kate Mulgrew in, and there was no way to fit Kate Mulgrew into a show with losers and misfits and outlaws. You can't have a captain or an admiral work with outlaws. It wouldn't make any sense. So once they got Kate Mulgrew aboard, they had to, in my opinion, they had to change the premise of the show. I don't know if it's true. I just know that lately they've been putting out conflicting stories. Conflicting premise. So maybe they'll change it back. Maybe it was just somebody who didn't know what they were talking about. But somewhere along the way, at some point, the premise of the show has changed. It could go back. Eastland says, can someone put Dear Bop address up in chat for a clumsy chatter? You just go to birdofprey5.com and then scroll down to where it says Dear Bop. You'll get there. Ensign Ricky says, Janeway will be the emergency command hologram of the ship. Misfits will take over. That's my guess. That was my guess too, Ensign Ricky, until I saw this new premise, this new description of the show. And they were very clear that it was going to be, and again, this doesn't make any sense. They were very clear it's going to be Captain Janeway as Captain Janeway, not as some other character. Now, yes, they've lied to us before, so they could be lying to us again. The hologram would make the most sense, but I don't think they're doing it. Roxod says, son of a bitch, Bird of Prey is never getting to Dear Bop. I'm going to get to Dear Bop. Darth Calhoun says, Star Trek and Ender's Game are hard sci-fi. Star Wars, Warhammer 40k is science fantasy. Both genres complement each other, but have different stories and themes that can be told and projected. Mike Richards says, Rock Solid, just to spite you. No, I'm going to get there. Rock Solid says, thanks to Mike Richards. Daniel Sotox says, Bird of Prey, yeah, live action, a canon and animation is B canon, which means B canon, Lower Decks is kind of canon, but they can cherry pick elements to put into A canon, real canon. Positive Candor says, losers, misfits, and outlaws is what the Maquis crew were in Voyager. Interesting. Eastland says, Janeway is training hologram. Would be interesting. It could be fuzzy and younger Janeway. Mike Richards is rock solid. No problem. The multi-gunman, Qapla the multi-gunman. It's been a long time. Says, hey Bird, how's it going? It's going good, multi-gunman. I passed 4 kidney stones. And Daniel says, I hope Anti-Trekker is on today so we can get his idea of all this. What's today? Tuesday. No, Anti-Trekker does not. Oh, it's Monday. Yes, Anti-Trekker generally goes on Mondays. He'll be on later tonight if all goes well. Nitpickers just did a video on all you could find about Janeway on Nickelodeon. Very cool. Check out Star Trek Nitpickers Janeway video. Daniel says, check Discord if you want to hear the most annoying theme song in the universe. Not particularly, but I'll check it later. Multi-Gunman says 4 kidney stones out. So yes, so here's what I want to do before we get to Dear Bop. Here's the thing. When I first measured the kidney stones, I went to the quote-unquote most accurate ruler online. And I assumed that the most accurate ruler online would be, accurate. So when I held up my stones to the screen, and I was like, oh crap, 6.5 and 8.5 millimeters. I was like, man, those are some damn big stones. But then I actually read all this text down here, and it said you've got to, it's nobody. You've got to calibrate it to a credit card. And I noticed that when I put my credit card up, my credit card was much, much bigger than the credit card they have on the screen. So in fact, I think I had to go to like 127 or so. And then when I remeasured it, they were a bit smaller. So the new news is my biggest stone was 6 millimeters. Okay. The two others are like 5.5. And the small one is about a 2.5 to a 3. So they're not quite as big. I did not pass an 8.5 millimeter kidney stone. Apologies. I know I said I did. I thought I did. I was wrong. It happens. But so just so an update, I did still pass at least a 6 millimeter kidney stone and two other ones almost as big. Not quite as bad as 8. I mean, certainly not as bad as 8, but still something. So just want to let you guys know for your own sake. If you're like, oh, there's no way he could have passed an 8.5 millimeter stone, you very possibly are right. I probably couldn't. But 6, I definitely could. And I did. Several times. So just wanted to be honest with you guys. And with that, we're going to go to commercial. I'm going to Jaloja. And we come back, we're going right to Dear Bops. I'll be right back.
Hello, I'm Charlie McKee for Electrolux. And this is an America that used to be. A time when companies brought vacuum cleaners to your home, because that's the best place to judge a vacuum. Today, few companies do that. But Electrolux still does, because your home is still the best place to see why Electrolux is better. So open your door to Electrolux. Electrolux, your home is the best place to see why we're better.
This week, Sears teams up velour and corduroy for a sporty look at a winning price. First, corduroy pants, a super value at only $8.99. The fit super, too, and you save $5. Snuggle into a rich velour top for just $12.99. The luxury of velour in a soft knit blend. And you save $5. The pants in assorted colors, the tops in crew V and boat neck. Hurry, this sale ends Saturday at Sears, where America shops for value.
If doing things different is your style, Genesee Cream Ale is your brew. Ever since we got a wood stove, I've got the lowest heating bill around.
Yeah, and the biggest thirst.
Next time that you're thirsty, make Jenny Cream your brew. The taste is something different. It's smoother drinking too.
I like it, 'cause there's nothing like it.
It's different.
Genesee Cream Ale.
Jeans and tops from Sears are spring wardrobe essentials on sale this week. First, jeans that fit, just $10.99. They fit your shape as well as your size. And you save $5. Add the all-cotton top, now just $6.99. Cool comfort and perma-press too, and you save $3. Jeans in western and cinch waist, tops in stripes and solids. These wardrobe essentials are on sale through Saturday at Sears, where America shops for value.
Jordache has the fit that's right. The Jordache look. The Jordache look.
You're feasting your eyes on the 6-meal cake. Streusel Swirl from Pillsbury. Meal number 1. A fancy feast for your company. Number 2, a yummy dessert for your kids. 3, a breakfast cake to make you forget coffee cake. 4, a lunchbox cake that doesn't all stick to the wrapping. 5, the best break a coffee break ever had. 6, dessert the second night, still firm and fresh. Streusel Swirl, the sensational 6-meal cake.
The Jordan Marsh Super Sale is on.
Super!
This is the place for spectacular store-wide savings.
Super!
Thursday, Friday, and Saturday only. Save 25 to 50% on selected fashions, accessories, housewares, and more.
Super!
Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. 3 days of sizzling savings of 25 to 50%. The Super Sale at Jordan Marsh is on.
This is the place, Jordan Marsh.
One day at a time.
Sorry about that, guys. Took an extra second because we were talking about dinner. Okay, I know I'm going to Dear Bops. I'll go to Dear Bops in 1 second. Mama Pray's got to hand me another bottle of water because it's camera's off. Camera's off. Because I drank a bottle while I was off camera. So we're back now. I've got yet another bottle of water. I know you guys are telling me to drink. I'm drinking. I got to drink more water. That's what I'm doing. Where are we? Rock Solid says, Bird of Prey, here's the thing. Drink. Thomas Bot says, Bird of Prey lies again. Rock Solid says, Kurogan lies. Bird of Prey, his lips are moving. Okay, I'm being honest with you. Bird for President 2020 says the Multi-Gun Man. Thank you. I'm being honest with you about a mistake I made measuring. I don't understand why you guys are getting so angry. Mom jeans. Oh, don't worry about mom jeans, John and Rocky. You know they weren't bad. 7, shoving cake up your 8, scooping. What? Pooping cakes? What are you guys talking about? I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. But 12 says stomach pump as you can't process the artificial everything in the cake. Wow. So anyway, let's go ahead and head over to Dear Bops. Dear Bop, shabop, da bop, da bop. I need a Dear Bop intro song. Not the one Anti-Tracker uses. Okay. Wow, 4:32 a.m. this morning? Really? Somebody was putting in a Dear Bop at 4:32 in the morning? You guys are nuts. Let's see what's up with the first Dear Bop. Come sassy, says Mama Pray. Move this over here so that I can see the chat if something comes up. There we go. Dear Bop, if coming up with video ideas is easy, and tell me. Oh, I saved this from last time. Right, that was to remind me to show you guys. Okay, so let me show you guys some of my old ideas. Let me switch back to this screen for a second while I open up Word. Open YouTube scripts. Come on, browse this PC. Okay. Documents, YouTube scripts. No, it's not it. Where is it? Okay. I did this. These are ones I did. Children of Mars. Okay, well, there we go. Well, is this it? This is it. Okay. So, let's see. How can I show this on screen? How can I show this on screen? Okay. What if we put this up? Okay. 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 So, I mean, without going through everything, the first thing was I was going to do a video on how Endgame kind of sucked. And it was about how many people actually died when they undid the snap. Okay? That there were going to be people falling from the sky. And how many people died that weren't coming back from undoing the snap. Because the snap only undid the people who died who were snapped away. It didn't undo all the people who died as a result of the snap, the secondary deaths from the snap. And that would have been thousands, maybe millions of people. Okay? If the snap took away the only pilot on a plane, or the pilot and co-pilot on a plane, that plane crashed into the ground, surely crashed, killing everyone on the plane, and possibly killing hundreds of people on the ground. So all those people would still be dead. And then, if you unsnapped your fingers and people showed up exactly where they were when they disappeared, all the people who were in a plane when they disappeared would just fall from the sky. It would be awful. It is the whole video that goes into, and young people, babies who disappeared that were going to appear in vacant hospitals or vacant rooms or in the middle of roads now, and are just going to die wherever they appear. Little kids are going to appear out in the desert, and they're just going to get eaten by animals or the wilds of Africa, wherever. So many people are going to die that it was terrible. It was actually an awful, terrible movie for Endgame to do what they did. Also, that Iron Man could keep his daughter. It was disgusting. That was going to be one of them. That was, okay, that's actually a video that Drawing for the Fun of It challenged us to make, and I never got around to making it. But a movie I hate, a movie I think is overrated, a movie I think is underrated. There was all these things to add. And I never made it because I couldn't find a movie that was a guilty pleasure. I still don't know what movie was a guilty pleasure. I never made it. I never made the movie. I don't know what happened to Drawing for the Fun of It. Now that I think about it, Drawing for the Fun of It's been missing for months. I hope Drawing for the Fun of It is good. They used to be on Anti-Tracker Stream all the time. Drawing for the Fun of It, if you're out there, please say hello. We miss you. We miss you. There was this, I was going to do a Gilligan's Island if it was recast by Disney in 2019. Okay? If it was recast by Disney. So I have, in the original cast, we have Bob Denver as Gilligan, the inept, accident-prone first mate of the SS Minnow. But we were going to change Gilligan. We were going to change Gilligan out with Chris Hemsworth. Yeah. We were going to have. He was also going to be inept and accident-prone, much like he was in Ghostbusters 2016. Alan Hale Jr. as Captain Jonas, the skipper of the captain of the SS Minnow, and he was going to be turned out to be Leslie Jones, was going to be the new skipper. Change of race and gender. Jim Backus as Thurston Howell III, a millionaire, and Natalie Schaefer as the lovely Mrs. Howell, Thurston's wife. Now the millionaire was going to be Sophia Viraga. I think she's from Modern Family. And her husband was going to be John Cho, Asian guy. Okay. The movie star, Ginger, was going to be replaced with the social media star, Anthony Dotson, aka, or Tracy Morgan playing Anthony Dotson. However we had to do it. I would have preferred to get Anthony Dotson. Anthony Dotson is from like 10 years ago. He was like the original one where they mixed his video and made it into a song. And there was like millions and millions of dollars made off this song. He was the one about they be raping everybody up in here. Hide your wife, hide your wife, hide your husband, hide your dog, something like that. They be raping everyone up here. He was going to be the social media star instead of a movie star. The professor, who was played by Russell Johnson, is going to be Mindy Kong, the Indian woman. So she was going to have a gender change. And Marianne, Dawn Wells, Marianne, was going to be turned into Caitlyn Jenner. Caitlyn Jenner was going to play Marianne. And that was going to be Gilligan's Island rebooted by Disney. So, yeah. Somebody could run with that. Now, you can use my people, or you can pick your own. I don't care. I don't care. It was a 9/11 stream. Sci-fi versus fantasy versus horror. Well, then put in what's the difference? What's the difference between sci-fi versus fantasy versus horror? Because it annoyed me. It annoys me still that so many places combine sci-fi and fantasy, or sci-fi and fantasy and horror into one genre, or to one label. I don't want to see horror films. I don't want to see fantasy films. When I go through sci-fi, I only want to see sci-fi films. So I was going to say what were like the top 5 sci-fi movies, what makes sci-fi, basically, why is it different than horror? Why is it different than fantasy? The best 5 Twilight Zone episodes, original Twilight Zone, mind you. That was going to be. And then I wrote down some of my favorite Twilight Zone episodes. I didn't get them down to 5. I got them down to about 15. And I don't remember all the titles, but there was the diner where the Venus and Mars aliens, we got To Serve Man, Terror at 20,000 Feet, the library episode, Time Enough at Last, the voice box episode where the guy cuts his voice box so he can't talk, the devil and the dog episode where the guy says, well, the devil can fool a man, but he can't fool a dog. The UFO, the giant people episode, the UFO lands, and you think it's a human being and a tiny UFO lands, but at the end you find out the UFO was an American ship, and it was a land of giants. A Stop at Willoughby, one of my favorite episodes. The British Air Force episode with the last flight. A guy from World War I ends up landing in present day, which was like 60s or 50s. The Odyssey of Flight 33, a great time travel episode. What You Need episode. The Fever with the slot machines episode. The Purple Testament, the guy who's what he's going to do, die next. The guy who sees who's going to die next. That's another great episode. People Are Like All Over, the Human Zoo episode. A Nice Place to Visit, which is the other place. This is the other place episode. I don't know what the hell that means now. And Nick of Time, somewhat happy ending. Yeah, Nick of Time has actually a somewhat happy ending for a Twilight Zone episode. I was going to do an episode on Kirk's worst command decisions, which included Galileo 7, Space Seed leaving Khan, Galileo 7 that they lets them go explore a quasar instead of delivering medical supplies, Arena because Kirk didn't realize he was speaking into a translation device, when the aliens clearly said that's a translation device. The Wrath of Khan, with the shields down. And in Generations, he leaves the bridge. He should have stayed on the bridge. So his worst command decisions. Never ended up making it the movie. This video. I doubt I ever will. What else we got? Okay, well then this is the lyrics for Birdo number 5. That one I did put out. It's Birdo number 5, although this lyrics is a bit different. Karogan Prayer. Okay, I think I did use that once. Picard Countdown comic book. Okay, that I did do. That one I did. I did the Tim Pool Past Tense Sanctuary District. I did that episode. And that's where I stopped. So those were some of the ideas I never actually made. So if somebody wants to run with some of those ideas or all of those ideas, feel free, because I don't know if or when I will ever get a chance to actually do them. Rock Solid says Leslie Jones sucks. She's not funny at all. Bird of Prey. Have Trump be Thurston Howell III. Well, I don't think he'd do it. Leslie Jones would, however. The Rock Solid says Bird of Prey. Anthony Dotson, the bed intruder. Yes, the bed intruder. It appears we have a rapist here in Lincoln Park. They're raping your women and snatching your people up. Hide your kids. Hide your wife. Yes, they be raping everyone up here. That's Anthony Dotson. Clobbering Times is Bird of Prey. The Dinah episode was Will the Real Martian Please Stand Up? Classic, yes, definitely one of the best. Marcus Galagas says the one where the guy loses his reading glasses after the apocalypse. Yes, that's Time Enough Now, I believe. Eastland says, yeah, there's a Twilight Zone that gives a dead gangster a welcome to the afterlife. He thinks it's heaven and wonders why maybe it isn't heaven. Yeah, that's another good episode. He's like, I never said you were in heaven. Yeah. When he realizes he can't lose, he realizes he's in the other place. Hail Karoga, Carlo. Thank you, Carlo. Qapla. Okay, so now we're up to the second Dear Bop. We are not making good time on Dear Bops. Dear Bop. I met him 15 years ago. I was told there was nothing left. No reason, no conscience, no understanding, and even the most rudimentary sense of life or death, or good or evil, right or wrong. I met this 6-year-old child with this blank, pale, emotionless face and the blackest eyes, the devil's eyes. I spent 8 years trying to reach him, and then another 7 trying to keep him locked up, because I realized that he was living behind that boy's eyes. What was living behind that boy's eyes was purely evil. And he's been here once tonight. And I think Bird will come back. I'm going to wait for him. Loomis. I think I'm not particularly good at this, but I believe that is a reference to the movie Halloween, the original Halloween. 1978, a very good year. Not because of that movie, because of me. But I believe that is a reference to the original Halloween. But yeah. So good quote if I'm remembering it right, but don't see a question. So we will move on. It's pronounced Antoine Dotson. Okay. Whatever. Not important. Clobbering Time says, Bird of Prey, the guy doing his glasses episode was Time Enough at Last with Burgess Meredith, one of his 4 Twilight Zone appearances. Thank you, Clobbering Times. I still think it's Anthony Dotson, but okay. No, Mom, not the guy with the glasses. Dear Bop. Oh, we're not on the Dear Bop screen. Why did nobody tell me we weren't on the Dear Bop screen? Son of a bitch. This is the Dear Bop screen, please. If you don't see me on the Dear Bop screen and I'm doing Dear Bops, remind me. It's important. So when people look through the, you know what? It's not important. In theory, if people were really asking for help and they wanted to see where Dear Bop occurred in this 2-hour-long plus BedLife stream, then it would be important we were on the screen so they could see where the Dear Bops were. But the reality is, very few people seem to appear to actually put in requests for help. Dear Bop, last week I was in a massive car collision of 30 cars and came home with one leg. I'm totally stressed out. I still don't know whose leg it is. You had Mama Pray worried.
No, I knew.
Oh, okay. She's saying she knew. She's saying she knew. You had me a little worried. Dear Bob, I have one burning question. Due to his healing abilities, can Wolverine be circumcised? He could be, but it wouldn't last. It wouldn't last. Dear Bob, good news, everyone. The top secret Schmeckelback cloning program is proceeding according to plan mostly. The first attempt has a third arm growing from the center of his chest. The good news is he's the new catcher for the Yankees. Science marches on. Signed, Professor Farnsworth, Kurogan Research Labs. Well, very cool, Professor Farnsworth. I know many a times I've thought, oh, what could I do with a third arm? So maybe you should save that genetic pattern. We might be able to sell third arms to people. Mountains of Elysium says, yes, Bird of Prey, 1978 was a vintage year. Many of us born that year are true legends. The 1978, the year against which all others will be measured. I'm okay with that. That was the 4 a.m. Dear Bop, mind you. That was the 4 a.m. Dear Bop. It was Professor Farnsworth. Dear Bop, since we live in a world where Star Trek and Star Wars share the same universe, the Falcon was in first contact. It's truly remarkable to think where sci-fi could be heading in a time where anything is possible. How amazing is it that the Mercury capsule penetrated the dark matter that was Sinatra Brown's starfish cluster near Uranus? In that way, well, you really need to come out and see. How amazing is that? I don't think that happened. I don't believe you. I do not believe you. Okay. Dear Bob, why didn't the time ship relativity step in to help the Discovery and Enterprise against Leland and Control ships? Clearly, what Control was trying to accomplish would violate the Temporal Prime Directive in changing history, so wouldn't it be correct to have Frank and Freddy in his arms and personally kiss him on the mouth instead? No, F you. F you. If this starts or ends with Frank or Freddy, I'm not even reading it. Okay. You're lucky. When I was a kid, dear Bob, when I was a kid, I asked my grandpa once if he ever killed any Germans in the war. He wouldn't answer. He said that was grown-up stuff. So I asked if the Germans ever tried to kill him, but he got real quiet. He said he was dead the minute he stepped into enemy territory. Every day he woke up and told himself, rest in peace. Now get up and go to war. And then after a few years of pretending he was dead, he made it out alive. That's the trick of it, I think. But that's the trick of it, I think. We do what we need to do, and then we get to live. But no matter what we find, I know we'll be okay, because this is how we survive. We are tell ourselves that we are the walking dead. Rick. I assume that was a quote from The Walking Dead. Didn't see that episode. At least I don't think I did. Dear Bob, do you realize that we know our parents our whole life, but they know us for only part of theirs? Well, that's if everything works out as it's supposed to. It's not always true. Why is it that our tongues rest on the top of our mouths? I don't think mine does. You and your best friend cannot go to each other's funeral. Well, that may or may not be true. We really won't know until we die. You cannot save a life. You can only delay the death. This is true. Why don't we feel our feet until we think about it? Some people can't feel their feet even if they do think about it. Just saying. And Karogan idea, cannibalism would solve world hunger and overpopulation. Everything okay? I'll be right back. Sorry about that. It would appear everything's okay. You cannot save a life. You can only delay the death. Why don't we feel our feet till we think about it? I say I still can't. Even if I think about it, I can't. And Karogan idea, cannibalism would solve the world's hunger and overpopulation. Yeah, but it's disgusting. Nobody wants to do that. You're not going to talk people into cannibalism until there's no other food left. Like good food. I mean, if it was only between like cabbage and cannibalism, then yeah, I guess you'd go cannibalism. But as long as there, are potato chips left, or even what's that? Animal crackers or goldfish or any of those, cheesy products. Nobody's going to go cannibalism until all that stuff is gone. Mountains of Elysium, I read that. Rock Solid says mercury penetrate. No. Lies, all lies, lies and lies and lies. Dear Bop, I recently had nightmares that left me in a pool of sweat, despite having cool nights for comfortable sleeping. Each nightmare starts when I find myself in this desolate land, barely having any sort of life in it. I am being chased around by this madman in a curious-looking jeep. He is shouting at me something about I being a child and an orphan and mines or something. I can assure you I'm an adult and am not an orphan. But he keeps chasing and screaming at me everywhere I go. I see signs with the word Karoga on them. I am so scared the screaming lunatic almost runs me over several times in each nightmare. When he gets close, I could see that the Jeep-looking vehicle has a specially modified interior that looks like the man is in a bed or something. At one point, he yells saying he will get his plane and crash it into me. I can't seem to get away. The nightmare keeps repeating every night after night after night. Why am I having these nightmares? What can I do? You know who. You probably shouldn't keep my channel up all night. If you're watching my videos and you have it on autoplay, I would turn off autoplay. That would be my best suggestion. If it's not on autoplay and you're still having these nightmares, you'll probably feel guilty about not donating enough money. So you should probably just make a sizable donation to the channel. That would be the second best way of stopping. Joseph says, as we have recently learned, if Berto Prey and I got stuck on an abandoned island, he would eat me. And VBB says, let me in. That is, of course, Ciso Prey. And Ciso Prey puts in $1 super chat. Okay, Ciso Prey. I'll be honest. I was not intending to use this, but I did set up I got to start StreamYard. And we can get Ciso Prey in there. Enter studio. Okay. Invite. Copy to clipboard. Okay. Ciso Prey, I'm going to send this to you via Facebook. A link. Okay, Ciso Prey, I sent you a link via Facebook. We'll see what happens. I don't know if it's going to work out, because this isn't generally the type of stream that works like this, but we'll see what happens. We'll give Ciso Prey a minute. Mike Richards is BBB, not by the hair of my chinny chin chin. No, we'll let Ciso Prey on. Joseph says Bird of Prey babysitting money is in. And welcome Ciso Prey.
Is it echoing?
It's not echoing on my side. It's echoing on your side if you got YouTube open and this.
I'll close YouTube.
Or mute YouTube at least, because you can't read the comments if you close YouTube. If people did not know your full name, they know now. Oh, wow.
Who, me?
I don't know.
No. All right. Okay.
Oh, because I went on Facebook. Yeah. Whoopsie.
Well, I accidentally signed in from Facebook a few times.
That's okay. Can you guys hear Ciso Prey? No, we're going to still finish Dear Bop.
Well, this is why I needed to be let in. I remembered something I wanted to say about last time's Dear Bop, or the Dear Bop while I was there.
Okay.
Are you in the middle of one Dear Bop though? Do you need to finish?
No. I think I did this last Dear Bop. Yeah, I did the Dear Bop. We've got more Dear Bops to go, but you can talk.
So yeah, someone had asked about anxiety and kind of getting to the bottom of it. You know, we talked about the book Taming Your Gremlin and learning to look at your thoughts, like, as a passenger, just kind of watch them pass and say, what's that about? And I know for me, and I think for a lot of people, one of the things I notice is if I can tie back my crazy, if I'm having like a weird fear, to something that made me feel guilty that day, even if it shouldn't have made me feel guilty, just something that might have made a person feel guilty. Even if it's totally unreasonable, sometimes I can trace it back to that and say, oh, my weird anxiety is coming from that guilt. Like I may be worried about getting into a car accident when I leave, but I'm actually feeling guilty about leaving so quickly, even though I shouldn't feel guilty. And
Mhm.
so then I have to go back to that thing and just kind of resolve that and remind myself that, like, yeah, it sucks. And, I wish
Why,
there was
why,
more time to
why
go around
shouldn't you feel guilty?
because I shouldn't. There's only one Diana. Everyone only gets a certain amount, and that's it. If
I'm
there were
s-
supposed to be more Dianas, I would have been twins. It's that simple.
Did I hear you though say something about a car accident?
I was talking about anxiety. Like if I
Right.
have a weird, anxious thought out of nowhere, like, oh, I hope I don't get into a car accident, right? That's a weird, anxious thought that seems to come out of nowhere,
Right.
right? But you
Oh,
might say,
not
well,
that you were in a car accident and then you left the scene.
no,
Okay.
it's very far from that related. It's usually more bizarre than that. That would be a really
Gotcha.
clear and obvious thing to get to the bottom of, right? That would
Yeah.
be
Okay. Now
very
it makes
obvious, but
sense.
I don't think you'd need to talk to someone about that. Anyone can figure that out.
Ozzy NF says, hi, Bird. Hello, Ozzy. Qapla, long time no see. Everybody can hear you just fine, by the way.
That's good. I had to close YouTube completely because I didn't know what else
No
to do.
problem. Was that all you had to say?
Well, yeah, but since you're doing Dear Bop, I'll.
Yeah, hang on while we have a few more Dear Bops. And Jeff Franklin, I'm sorry. Did you get blocked? Somebody blocked you? Did William Shatner block Jeff Franklin? I don't know.
What's Uncle Joey talking about?
Hey, Charlie. Hey, Charlie.
Charlie's
Okay.
sitting in my lap, all calm.
Aw,
And he just had a good nap.
good.
Yeah, he had a good nap.
Oh,
And now he's
no.
watching something on Nickelodeon.
Yay, Nick.
Could care less about.
Soon on Nickelodeon's going to be Star Trek Prodigy, Charlie.
I thought you meant Animaniacs.
No, all Animaniacs is coming out on Hulu.
Ah, on Hulu.
Yes.
We'll look forward to that.
Right. Okay, so Dear Bob, Joe Biden here. I have a problem and I find myself in a bit of a pickle. I keep finding half-eaten rats, possums, skunks, elk on my doorstep. And lately I've been finding half-eaten hobos also. While I appreciate that Hillary keeps leaving these little presents and the hobos will still be voting for me in November, we in the Democratic Party have ensured that we will give a voice to those who have passed on and will cast a vote, several in fact, votes on their behalf. Why do these born between 1687 and 2019 have already voted in 32 votes on my behalf? Anyway, no matter how many bodies or parts of bodies Hillary leaves on my doorstep, I can't make her VP. She scares the crap out of me. How do I tell her no? I don't want her to stop rounding up voters, but I do need to let her know she won't be VP. Any help would be greatly appreciated. Anyway, I want to remain anonymous, so I, aka Old Joe Biden, won't be writing my name in here. No one will know Joe Biden wrote this. Your old pal, Anonymous Joe Biden, promising to remove the 13th and 19th Amendments when elected. P.S. Could you ensure that all orphans vote again for old Joe Biden? I know each of them have voted 89 times, and 2 billion have already voted for me in North Dakota, but another few votes can never hurt. ? Apart from the hobos Hillary has dismembered.
Charlie audibly sighed during that very, very long Dear Bob entry.
Do you have any advice for anonymous Joe Biden, though?
I didn't hear who had written that. I'm unsure.
It's
But
Joe
it sounds
Biden.
like they have an outdoor cat, and that's not a thing anymore. You're only supposed to have indoor cats.
It had nothing to do with a cat.
No, it definitely sounds like they have an outdoor cat.
All right.
from the description.
Yeah,
of,
you would not be doing so great on Dear Bop
okay.
advice. You're not listening to the
I
issue
think
at
they
hand.
need to consider whether or not they can tame that cat and let it be an outdoor cat. An indoor cat. And if not, they're just going to have to ride it out. If they've been feeding it, they have to keep feeding it now, but don't do that again in the future. Because that's what happens when you feed a stray cat. They bring you dead things as presents.
Jeff Franklin says it's the other side of the exchange he's blocked from. Well, Jeff, if you sign out of Twitter, amazingly, you can see both sides of conversations if you care that much, which you shouldn't. But it does work if you're interested. As to this Dear Bop, for whoever wrote this, if you can't promise Hillary to be your VP, you could tell Hillary she'll be the next VP. Because, we both know, Joe, you're not going to serve for very long. And Kamala is going to have to appoint another VP soon enough. So then Kamala could appoint Hillary. Kamala.
Never mind.
Kamala.
You're doing good. Go ahead.
Kamala. It's close enough.
Oh.
So Kamala can appoint Hillary, and then Hillary can become president, when she does what she has to do. So you can promise that, Joe. Even if Kamala doesn't, you won't be in any position to it'll be between her and Kamala then, and not her and you. Springtime says Bird of Prey. Sassy knows that Wolf 359 was an inside job. Qapla Resolute Germ, hello. Joseph Petrick says Bird of Prey, I can confirm my indoor-outdoor cats bring me mice, rats, and birds, and now they have a hunting season.
See?
The intendant says, well said, Ciso Prey. I think they meant Kamala's name.
There you go.
Okay. Dear Bop, my roommate is human. How do I educate her that she should not buy broccoli and lemons, but should buy food sensibly? Critter the kitty, and in most ways, she's a pretty good roommate. She handles the monthly chat with the landlord and other things. Any idea?
I would say roll over and show your belly. And then when she goes to pet your belly, just converge on her with all four paws and your mouth and claws out. And
Wow.
do that after she tries to give you broccoli every time. And I think she'll get the hint.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say just, scratch everything else in the house. And that'll probably teach him too. Roxod says Kamala versus Hulk Hogan was awesome. And not Ryan Johnson's Bird of Prey. I only know one Kamala, and that's the wrestler from the 80s. Joseph says Ciso Prey knows cats. Oh, Charlie.
That's what he had to say about that.
Yay, Charlie. Dear Bob, thank you again for voting for Joe Biden again, and for the list of subscribers who've reinsured cast ballots in every electoral district 12 times in every district in California. If you could send a list of your ancestors and family members so we can cast votes on their behalf also. Anyone born after 5974 BC is eligible to vote Democrat. They don't even have to be real people. 87% of our voters aren't. Your pals at the Democratic Party. I don't have any pals at the Democratic Party, so we know that is fake news, and we will skip that, dear Bob. Springtime says Bird of Prey. What is Ciso Prey's thoughts on Wolf 359 by being an inside job? Do you have any thoughts? So pray. Did she get disconnected? So pray. Are you
Are you
there?
there?
Yeah,
there?
I can hear you now.
So if I come out, I can't talk, huh? But I can
No,
still
if you
hear
come out, you cannot talk.
So I need to know what Wolf 359 is. I was wondering if that was the code name for the operation where we get Sassy pregnant with puppies.
No. Wolf 359
5 or
was a
9.
battle in Star Trek where the Federation engaged the Borg.
Charlie, I defer to you. What do you think about that? I can't even tell you how he just yawned. It was the cutest little yawn.
Yeah,
And
what
that was
did you tell him about how when you brought up social justice, he threw up on himself and me?
No, he got mad because you were being hostile.
No, he got mad because you brought up social
He was upset.
justice.
He was
Sis
so
O'Prey
upset
brought
that
up
he
about how she wanted nephew O'Prey to be about social justice, and he literally threw up.
Say that's not true. Say fake
That's
news.
exactly how it happened.
Fake news. Go ahead, say
Okay.
fake news. Fake news. Okay.
Dear, what's your name? It's Joe. Yes, that Joe. You know me. I've had 400 years in American politics. I fixed and broke the system thousands of times, especially broken it. I'm traveling through all 28 states en route to victory in 48 hours. I want to know if I can count on your vote and your support for this election thing. It is important to the future of me. I mean her. I mean Wonder Woman. Oh, wouldn't I love to sniff her hair? Maybe she can put me in her lasso. She and I can have a good old time. Anyway, thank you, fellow someone or another. The election isn't coming then next soon. Go out and promote me and stuff. Don't forget to vote early and get your dead relatives to vote for me.
This is getting a little old.
And
I would like to say that Wonder Woman's name is Diana, so that's cool. But yeah.
and each of you should vote often. And remember, we are packing the court, whatever that means. Kamala has tried to explain it to me several times, but I still don't get it. She's the brains of the campaign after all. Oops, I wasn't supposed to say that. Can this thing be deleted? What's this submit button do? I bet it deletes. Let me press it.
Such a good boy, Charlie.
I'd say there's about a 60% chance that was not real.
I would like to request better Dear Bops.
Sizzle Prey is requesting better Dear Bops.
Who will volunteer to be a Dear Bop screener? And make sure we don't have repetitive, boring Dear Bops.
Not Ryan Johnson says, Bird of Prey. I'm waiting for Sizzle Prey to defer to Nephew of Prey. And he responds, Qapla.
That isn't going to happen.
Thomas is Bird of Prey, 28 states. But Obama said we had 57. He can't be wrong. Well, obviously, we lost a number of states in the last 8 years. 12 years, whatever it's been. Springtime says Bird of Prey. How is the arc coming along? I'll have plenty of room.
About Obama. Mama never explained Obama to you. Oh, we're going to have to talk about Obama. Yeah, we'll get some videos on YouTube. Yes.
And Gary put in a link, rock solid, saying it's pronounced Antoine. Oh, thank you. Thank you, rock solid, for the link. Okay, I think that, we got a few more Dear Bops.
Are they good, Dear Bops? Can you skim them?
I can't see. I got to read them. I won't know if they're good till I read them.
You really don't.
Dear Bop, please help Elihu. I asked that this post to help a friend be unblocked, for it's very important to him. I have no idea what we're talking about here. let's go to
See?
see what this is.
Helps to read them first. Yeah.
I asked the many to please help me. I did this expecting an epic fail. Please prove me wrong. My request is honorable. It would make the day of a fellow Trekkie. Star Trek changed my life, and I'm just a fan trying to keep the many. Please help.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what the
Oh,
question is.
William Shatner responded to LDG. William Shatner says, I saw it both times, but if I do a request for you, that isn't fair to the other 2.5 million followers. The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. And LDG says, William Shatner giving this another shot. I hope he sees this. Well, I got to say that is impressive. I think it's worthy of a like. I don't know if anything's going to happen from it, but sure, why not?
You happy, baby?
Why not? Okay.
Happy
That's interesting.
Happy baby.
Do the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, says so pray? Yeah. What do you think about that?
I think that is sometimes true.
You think what, says so pray?
I think it's sometimes true.
It's sometimes true, but not always true.
Not necessarily. Depends on the need.
It depends on the need. So you would not say that was an axiom. Okay.
I would say that that's a very contentious statement. The assumption behind it, yeah.
Contentious.
Is that you can't, that we can't, everyone can't be, there's no thing. Yeah, right? We make everybody happy, Charlie.
I think Nephew O'Prey likes it.
Yeah, he's dancing.
He's
like,
dancing to the needs of the many outweighing the needs of the few, or the one.
The wisdom of saying, don't let anyone fool you into thinking there are only two choices. Never.
Carlo says Bert O'Prey is Obama, that drone guy. And Springtime says Bert O'Prey, you and Sis O'Prey forgot about World War III. We lost 7 states, and the war was too stupid. We just forgot about it.
Way more worried about Civil War II than World War III right now. Thank you.
Dear Bob, I listened to Sis O'Prey's advice and got an outdoor cat to help keep Mrs. Clinton away from my house. Now I have an issue with Bill snooping around. For some odd reason, he thinks there are 15-year-old grandchildren staying with me. Come on, man. There's no way that kid will come around here. Be real, man. You're dog-faced. Be real, man. You dog-faced pony soldier. Thanks, Sleepy Joe.
Okay, so if you have a large cat or a creepy husband problem, both of those can be solved with advice from Carol Baskin, and I will defer to her. Yes, for how to handle large cats and or ex-husbands. Right, Charlie? Slightly outdated joke, but still a good one.
LDG says I liked the wrong post. It seemed like the right post. Oh, well, I'll look at it later.
I know. Uncle Joey didn't watch Tiger King. How silly is that?
Why would I watch Tiger King?
You should have watched Tiger King. It was just the thing to do.
Dear Bob,
nothing else to do.
Who's the biggest pomp ass? Rock solid. Oh, never mind. Oh, goddamn you, soft putty. Go away, soft putty. Nobody likes you.
Hey, I thought everybody has a right to speak their mind.
They do, but this guy always speaks like an asshole. So
I thought you had to read the whole thing.
I don't have to do anything but pay taxes and die.
You're a hypocrite, Uncle Joey. Uncle Joey being a hypocrite.
Not being a hypocrite. He can do his own show. He can do Soft Buddy can do his own YouTube channel. Nothing's stopping him.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's it with the Dear Bops. Let's see. Do I have a StreamYard? I do.
I love you. I love you.
Let's
Oh,
see. What
oh,
would
Charlie.
happen?
Oh, Charlie.
Whoops.
Yeah, yeah.
What would happen if
Oh,
I
Charlie.
go to...
Mama loves you. Mama loves you. My healthy baby. My healthy, healthy, happy baby. Yeah.
We'll
Yeah.
we'll just
Yeah.
go. Oh, dinner's coming. Dinner's coming. So I guess we're going to call it an evening here. Camera's off. I'll put your camera is off. Okay. Yeah. So guys, thank you all for coming. I think we'll call it a day because my food has arrived. And I will check out that Twitter, the Twitter thing in a little bit. LDG. Springtime is bird of prey. How do you respond to the fact that your bop was at Wolf 359? What one did you see was Picard? How do you respond to the fact that your bird of prey was at Wolf 359? What didn't you see was Picard, the inside man in the cube? I don't know, Springtime. Eastland says, I arranged to barter with cats to bring gifts. It partly involved the problem of bloody gifts. My cat gets a portion of the tuna in exchange for a gift. Eastland says, goodbye all, be safe all. Joseph says, bon appetit. And Carlos says, please don't leave me at work alone. I'm sorry, Carlo. I'm sorry. There's going to be other people streaming. And I need to, let's see.
Say goodbye, Charlie, baby.
We'll go to YouTube Studio.
Say bye-bye.
And we're going to go to
Bye-bye.
our members, our channel memberships. And I'm going to give a big shout out and thank you to all the channel members. Carlo Albanese, a friend of Kuroga. Pixelate, our Kurogan citizen. Joseph Patrick, a friend of Kuroga. Rock Solid, a friend of Kuroga. Captain Track, a friend of Kuroga. 47 Yorktown, a friend of Kuroga. Rock Solid Productions, a friend of Kuroga. JP's, a friend of Kuroga. And Wesley Crusher, also a friend of Kuroga. Thank you all for being channel members. Thank you to the people on Subscribestar, who includes, I'm only going to use first names because I don't know what you guys want me to use. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, John. Thank you, Resolute Germ. Thank you, Life with Matthew. And thank you, Thomas, for your Subscribestar patronage. Whatever, you start subscribing. You all help the channel. You help me keep the software I need and the hardware I need to keep these streams going and make things a little easier for me and Mama Pray. So thank you all so much. Have a good evening all. Let me do one quick last look at the chat and then we will turn it out. Carlos says, have a good night, everyone. Bird will pray, sis will pray, nephew will pray, mom will pray, sassy will pray. Thank you, Carlo.
Good night, everyone.
Cinnabon says, have a good night. Good night, Cinnabon.
Night,
and I guess we will end it with, I don't know. We'll end it with BedLife.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye, sis will pray.
Hi, Charlie, baby.
Bye, Grandma. Bye-bye.
She said bye-bye.
BedLife. It's a stream by bird of prey.
Gained a bunch of subs in April, lost them in May. But I know those numbers are gonna zoom when I'm on Nerdrotic's channel this June. I said BedLife, and as stupid as it may seem, some people get their kicks downvoting the stream, but I won't ever let it get me down. 'Cause this crazy old bird keeps sticking around. I've been a bully, a brawler, a terror, a bum, and a boss with a ring. I've been east and west and north and south, and I've seen a few things. But now I find myself stuck in this bed, so I just hit the remote and raise up my hand. BedLife, I tell you, I won't deny it. I thought of quitting YouTube, but Kurogan say don't even try it. I gotta keep refuting those anti-trekker lies and Turdistanny turds and the fake orphan cries. I've been a bully, a brawler, a terror, a bum, and a boss with a ring. I've been east, west, north, and south, and I've seen a few things. But now I find myself stuck in this bed, so I just hit the remote and raise up my head. BedLife, BedLife, and I can't deny it. Many times I thought of quitting YouTube, but my Kurogan said don't even try it. But if there's no play button by next July, I'm gonna lay myself down on this old bed and cry.